Today I'm going to show how to make a tactical Nalgene sleeve out of leather. I started by making a paper template of the Nalgene sleeve. I used this template to cut out a rectangle of about 4 to 6 ounce veg tan leather. I added sheaths for things that I like having with me just as much as my Nalgene. Pentel Sharpwriter mechanical pencils, and these dollar store torch lighters, which are really handy for all sorts of projects. I wet formed some thin scraps of leather for these objects and let them dry overnight. After trimming off the excess leather, I glued the lighter holster and pen loops to the large leather piece. I used contact cement rather than PVA glue since it would be really difficult to clamp these pieces in place while the PVA glue dries. Next, I used a diamond chisel to create the stitching holes and secure the pieces together with a cross stitch. This cross stitch has the added benefit of securing the exposed edges of the molded leather pieces to the sleeve, keeping the edges from fraying away. To add the flame icon to the lighter holster, I just found a simple flame online and traced this right off of my phone with parchment paper. I transferred this shape to the damp leather and followed the indentation with a swivel knife. The curvy lines of the flame made it a pretty approachable shape for a beginner at leather carving like myself. I added a groove around the edge to create a border for stamping, and then got to work trying out a bunch of different leather stamps. I chose to create multiple regions with patterns to sort of mirror the patchwork of stickers on my water bottle. This way, the sleeve keeps the eclectic aesthetic of my Nalgene. I also set some regions aside to try out some more leather carving. After the tooling was done, I beveled the edges and added stitching holes for joining the piece into a ring. I added leather conditioner before the final stitching to re-moisten the leather so that it wouldn't crack when I bent it around my Nalgene. When joining the ends together, I used a curved needle so that I could do all of the stitching for one side. Finally, I burnished the edges of the leather and did my final burnishing pass with a coat of paraffin wax. As a leathercraft novice, I think that this tactical Nalgene sleeve is actually the perfect beginner project. It uses so many different techniques, is relatively small in scale, and it's silly enough that it's hard to take any mistakes too seriously. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out some of my other videos.